melts all my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me you really care, and we'll spend tomorrow together.
Either that or in a doctor for ears being blood. Hey everybody, welcome to the Vape channel. You wanted it, you asked for it, I brought backup. This week we're going to talk about rebuilding, unless you're going to gurgle in my ear for 10 more minutes. Rebuilding, building your own coils, I would say it's more of a hobbyist thing. This is How to Be-Boop. His name's Kyle, but we call him How to Be-Boop because it kind of sounds cool.
The looks.
There's a couple things you need to know. If you want to get into rebuilding, the biggest priority is safety. Safety and knowing your equipment. So today, since I brought backup, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Wave. There's a few things that we need to talk about. We need to talk about building coils, because that's going to be a big one. Battery safety, and then what kind of mods and stuff you should choose in order to do that.
Let's start with batteries. That's the most important. If you don't match your battery with your resistance, you're gonna blow.
You're already speaking Japanese. What do you mean battery and resistance?
Okay, right here, I have a parallel coil box, which means 2 batteries.
Time out.
Now I've got the timeout blues. Yeah, the timeout blues.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Layman's terms. What do I need to know about batteries to keep them safe if I'm gonna rebuild?
Okay, what you need to know is the amp draw on your battery, which most of them will say.
So knowing your amps is good, but
It's actually the most important. This battery
Okay.
right here, on it, it says high drain 35 amp.
so 35 amps is good. What if I've seen batteries that have 20 amps? Could I use a 20 amp battery on a rebuildable?
Yes,
Would it be safe?
yes, if you build your coil to the right resistance.
Okay.
What is important about building your coil to the right resistance is your load. That's all your coil is, your load. Because, yeah.
He said load.
In an electrical circuit, you need a source, you need a load, and you need a way to get from the source to the load. And with the rebuildable, you have a source, a load, and a way to get to it, which is your tube.
Okay. So I'm a dude off of the street. I've been vaping for 6 months to a year, and I want to get a tube, and I want to get a rebuildable. Pop that off. So I want to get a rebuildable where I can make my own coils, and when I make my own coils, wrap them up myself. We'll get to that in a second, right?
Sure.
If I want to go just easy, I have a lot of people that come into the store and they say, I want a metal tube, and I want a rebuildable atomizer to put on it, and I want a battery. A lot of people don't think about the load and the amp and the stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So if I was thinking, if I want to be smart and I want to be safe, what would I do battery-wise right off the bat?
Sub-ohm cell would be the first.
A sub-ohm cell.
Yes, those are the batteries to get right now.
How do I know what a sub-ohm cell is?
It's written on there.
It's written on the battery. Easy.
Yeah, look.
Wait, do the little ding. Sub-ohm cells, basically, they're going to show you the amp that's... 35 is pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. How do I know when I have a bad battery?
Well, you do the battery test. I do 2 battery tests. One, I'll sit it down, positive side up. If it has any wobble in it at all, chuck it. It means it's starting to expand, and that's a no-no.
So the battery will physically change?
Yeah, the battery will
Okay.
physically change.
What's the other test that you do?
The other test is I will put a meter on it. Once it's fully charged, my charger says, oh, good to go. I'll pull out a meter I have at home and check the voltage.
Okay.
A fully charged battery should be at 4.2.
An 18650 battery could cost you anywhere between, what?
$10 to $18.
$10 to $18 for an 18650, which is a big style battery. Now, I'm using a regulated mod, which means it's got the brains and it's got the computer chip in it. This is a 20 amp battery that I got in here, and I'll show you right now. This is not something that I would ever use in sub-ohming.
No.
This is only 20 amps. I wouldn't say it's the worst of the worst, but it's not something I would ever use or recommend using for rebuilding. Why? Because
It sucks.
Yeah, they suck.
It sucks.
I don't have to worry about it, however, getting hot or expanding or blowing up. The reason is because it's an electronic mod that I can adjust. It's got the brains and it'll keep it from doing all that bad stuff that we don't want it to do. Right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Blowing up is bad.
Tip of the day from the Vape channel. Don't blow yourself up. What do I have to worry about next?
An ohm reader.
An ohm reader?
Yes, that's one thing that I recommend when I go to different stores and I see people come in. Hey, I want to blow massive clouds, bro. I'm like, okay, well, slow down a bit. Let's go safe. So I would recommend a basic mech mod, 22 millimeter atomizer, which is this. It fits almost flush on your mod. And then we go to batteries. I say, look, we have two types of batteries. We'll have the sub-ohm, and we'll have a different one, like a Sony, a green Sony.
Right.
Which is also really good.
Which Sony stopped making the actual VTC 4s and 5s a year ago, so make sure you're getting the real deal if you buy them.
Yes.
An ohm meter will let you put your tank or your rebuildable on. I've got a tank, it's pretty safe, I don't have to worry about it anyway, but if you want to see the ohms that you have going on in here, you can screw it on. It will show you exactly how many ohms your coil has. Now this is a tank that I have on here that shows you the ohms. Why do I need an ohm reader if I'm doing a rebuildable?
Well, you need an ohm reader. Well, see mine.
0.31.
0.31.
0.31.
It's lower than 1 ohm. So sub-ohming.
Sub-ohm.
You need it. Oh, go for it, Joe.
I'm sorry. Sub-ohm, if you're not paying attention out there, is lower than 1.0 ohms. Doing sub-ohms, most electronic mods where they have the brain and the computer chip in it, when it goes under 1.1, they stop working. That's so the battery doesn't get stress on it. So that's why a lot of people are using mech mods, mechanical mods. If you've seen our other videos, it's a metal tube, a button, and a spring.
That's it.
So there's no safety switch, none of that. That's why you have to be safe doing this. You were saying?
The reason you need to know your ohms is to do your math. You need to do your math when you do any build. You need what's called Ohm's law. What Ohm's law will tell you is if you enter two variables, which most likely is going to be your resistance and your volts, you're going to get your watts and your amps. Your watts are cool, just bro, 90 amps.
Just bro?
Yeah.
You just bro?
I just broed you.
You just broed?
Sorry.
So for people at home, just broing means,
Yeah.
I really have no idea what that means. If you're smart, you take the time to go and do this, right?
Yeah.
But from my situation, my standpoint, I work in a store. I got kids that, are coming in and it's all the rage where they come in and they want to be competition cloud chuckers, or they want to blow big clouds. But they come in and they just want their wire and they want a battery and they want everything to go in. How would, if you were talking to that kid on the street that goes, I just need some wire and I want to wrap up a coil and a battery, and I've got the right battery, what would you say to how he builds his coil?
Research, foo. Can't just wrap wire and pop it in. You can,
Google.
but it'll just be terrible and you won't like it. You'll get bad hits. When I first started, that's what I did. Wrap, stick it in, puff on it. Then I did my research, I checked it out, and then I realized I wasn't doing a lot of safe things.
Here's a question I have for you, Kyle. What if you're someone that's coming off the street and you've never done this before and you want to get your first rebuildable? This is a 26650. This is the Stingray X. If you've never done this before and you're someone off the street and you want to try rebuilding, what would you recommend?
Whenever you walk into a store, a decent store that's not a vape store / bong seller, and you let them know that you want to start rebuilding, they'll walk you through the steps and they'll even build your first coil for you. I don't suggest going and buy your wire if you've never done it before and wrapping them yourself. Go to them, let them build your first couple coils, practice, and then once they say, hey, you did pretty good, then
okay.
Start going.
Well, here's a good question. Say I've never built a coil before and I got the right battery setup. Am I okay to try and build my first coil and see if it works? Or am I gonna blow myself up?
That truly depends on the wire that you have. My recommendation is to start with 28 gauge because it's a lot thinner, and even if you do a super crazy parallel wrap, you won't get low enough to blow up, essentially.
Okay. We're gonna go through a couple of things here for everyone that's at home. Pros and cons of doing this for rebuilding. I've talked about this in my videos before. One of the cons of doing this is you better have some time on your hands. I live about 45 minutes away from where I work. So when I get up in the morning, I just want to fill up a tank and go. If you're in a hurry, rebuilding is something that's more for a hobbyist. I also would say that if you're into rebuilding has never, as far as I know, helped anybody actually quit smoking cigarettes. It's a fun thing. And it is a lot of fun. I like doing it. You're like, hey, show them. Watch this. Wow, yours is so much bigger than mine.
I get that a lot.
That's weird. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be Debbie Downer on you. What are some of the pros of rebuilding?
It's fun. Blowing clouds with your friends is cool. Flavor. When you sub ohm, you're going to get your juice hotter, and it's just going to hit flavors that you won't be able to hit in a tank.
Okay, but will you go through a lot more juice?
Yes. It's depending on your build. If you're like super crazy and you build super low, you're going to go through a 30 ml bottle in about 2 days.
So if I'm going through that much juice, does my nicotine level matter compared to if I'm used to using single or dual coil tanks?
Yes.
How much?
Do not go above a 6 ml
Why?
in nicotine. Why?
Don't go above 6 milligrams. This is important for you at home. Why?
Because it will just be so intense. Your throat hit will be unreal. It'll hit you like a train.
It's going to be pretty bad.
You'll be passed out, and your mom's going to be like, Billy, what happened? Mama, I was sub-ohming. But then you'll be fine after.
What just happened right there? Okay, so in conclusion, let's say this. When you're doing rebuildables are fun.
So much fun.
You get a lot of flavor. You get a ton of flavor. Juices that you're used to vaping all the time, once you switch it over to a rebuildable, it doubles, which is
awesome.
pretty cool, right? Safety is mandatory.
Yes.
Battery safety, coil safety. If you're new in this, there's lots of videos on YouTube you can look up.
Coil build videos for days.
There's all sorts of different crazy coils that you can build. The options are limitless and it's a lot of fun. If you're interested in doing this and you're just getting started, our biggest recommendation is go to a shop that has a good reputation on these things and have them help you out. Once you feel comfortable and you want to go home and you feel that you know your safety and you know your numbers, then pull it from there.
Go for the gold. And I have never been to a shop.
Go for the gold.
Go for the gold.
The vaping industry has grown exponentially over the years, but even if vape stores don't have rebuilding stuff or they have a limited selection, if the people there don't know what they're talking about or they're just trying to go, here's some wire, get out, maybe you need to think about finding a different vape store.
Yeah.
Research, we can agree on that?
Research.
Do your homework.
Just don't blow up, please.
Will you hold me?
Don't blow up. Come here, Joe. I'll rebuild your coil. It's fine. Thanks. Thanks, Kyle.
That's going to do it for this week. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Share this with your friends. The point in this is we're trying to help people. So even though you watch this, and whether you love us or hate us, make your friends watch it too. You sat through this, didn't you? Like us on Google+, like the Vape channel on Facebook, like Vape Escapes on Facebook. If you have ideas for future episodes, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, put them down below. We can argue, we can yell at each other. We can be like, hey, you're stupid, because this is YouTube. Because that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah.
Right?
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Keep it real. Keep it fresh. Don't forget. Keep it real fresh. Sucker.